Hello, storygoers, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Cartridge, the video game storytelling podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Eric Penrod.
And I am your other co-host, Ryan Bauer.
Ryan, give it up. Give it up, everybody. Woo. Give it up. Ryan got his PS5.
I've done it. It's happened. I did it.
Ryan, you must be feeling amazing. How are you? And what have you been playing?
I'm feeling really good. I was really excited. I was just telling you, I got an email on Wednesday from Sony that said, hey, we want your money. You want to give me your money. Let's do this. So I was a little late to the link they sent me, but I was able to get my PS5, and it should be here on Monday, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, we've both been kind of working to try and find drops, but it's just so hard because we work, and in the middle of the day it's so hard. Yeah, but luckily Sony's found a way to help out, which is good. So I was able to get one. I'm really excited about that. That's kind of been the highlight of my week. I was feeling really, really tired Friday, but I knew my PS5 was coming, so it was getting me through the work day. As far as what I've been playing, the new Valhalla DLC came out, which it's fun to go back to that game, The Wrath of the Druids, where you're in Ireland, which is really fun, hanging out in Ireland and getting to hang out there, which has been cool. So me and my partner have been plowing through that here and there. It's not huge, but it's big enough to kind of get you back into the game, and it's just a fun gameplay loop. I've been playing a little bit of Outriders with our friend Dave. We played not last week, maybe one day last week. It's been hard to find time. And then I dipped a little bit back into Destiny in preparation for the PS5, because there's a native PS5 upgrade that you get for free. Yeah. So I'll get a very nice 60 frames per second Destiny, which I'm very excited about. So I've been playing a bit of Destiny as well, and I think that's everything.
I think it's amazing. Like, I've been harping on Sony for not doing anything with the scalper situation. I thought it was so crazy. How can you not have control over that? I mean, it's probably much harder than I'm giving it credit for. But it sounds like Sony did a really good job figuring out a way to kind of get around that and specifically target the people who own the PlayStation. It's probably through your PSN account, I imagine, the email attached to that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yep.
And directly send you a link that was specifically meant for you. It wasn't like a link for everybody to go to at once, at 2 o'clock. It's like you said, it was 2 hours later than you were supposed to go. Yeah. And it's still available to you. That was so cool. So hopefully more people are going to get their PlayStation 5s this way. I know I heard a report last week, I think, that Jim Ryan, president of Sony Entertainment, he's the head honcho of PlayStation right now for North America, is saying that they'd be back ordered still throughout this year into 2022. So a lot of people still won't have their PlayStation 5s. Well, so that was a huge bummer to hear, but I'm so happy to hear that you got yours. And hopefully, storygoers, for those of you who are still struggling to get your PS5s from those gosh darn gross scalpers, you know who you are, and hope you don't listen to this podcast. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate your support. You're just dirty. all our storygoers are just scalpers. We lose them all in one day. But no, I'm super happy you got yours. Ratchet and Clank comes out in 3 weeks. I think we said the 11th.
Yeah,
and that's exciting. That's so exciting. I'm doing good. I had a good day. Went to the botanical gardens near us here in the good old state of Maine.
Beautiful.
And it was great. They put up these wooden trolls this Danish artist created and shipped over to many different places around the world. There's 5 at the main botanical garden. It was really beautiful, really nice. Not a lot of people there, probably because it's a little early, so we'll probably be getting more tourists soon. It's probably gonna be crazy, but it was really anyone in the area, I highly recommend you go to it because it's super, super nice. A lot of fun, very pretty. As for what I've been playing, I beat Returnal unexpectedly.
Wow, okay.
I was just on a roll. Returnal is so interesting to me. I was at this I was hitting this wall. I feel like I was getting nowhere fast. But Returnal is, and I think the reason why I felt that way is because I was going about it the way I would Hades. Because when you think of a roguelike, you think you have to kind of go through the same kind of level progression. And I always think of Hades. Hades is really the only, except for Dead Cells, which I wasn't super duper into. I enjoyed it, but Hades was that model of what a roguelike is in my mind. But Returnal does it differently. And I think once I realized how Returnal, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to, but how you progress in Returnal is way different. And once I realized that, I started to kind of progress more and more, realizing how, you're not leveling up yourself per se, but your weapons are slowly leveling up in different ways, around, kind of outside the picture from what I realized. And and the progression is very different. So super interesting. Long story short, the ending, I still have no idea what I've played, but there is like, and this isn't really a spoiler, but there's an ending, but then there's an extra ending for doing other things after you beat the game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. The game does a really good job of making you think like, I don't understand what's happening. I kind of do. Like I kind of have a general picture. It's like I put together a puzzle piece that's like a Van Gogh piece, and I don't know what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm looking at now. So it's cool. I'm halfway through getting to the secret ending. So I'm excited for that. It's a great game. I think it's my game of the year so far. Returnal is fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's a game I just want to always go back to. I think it's weird that Housemarque didn't put in a save point for the game. You have to put your PS5 into rest mode, which freaks me out because I feel like my PS5 is just going to blow up. Because I leave it for rest mode for like a day. And then...
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you have an update... So this is a problem recently. I didn't even think about it. I put my game in rest mode. Didn't know that there was a patch coming out. It closed my game to install the patch while I was in rest mode. So my game that I was in the middle of is now gone forever. So I have to restart again. I was like... Housemarque, how can you not think of this? Like, you've been making this game for a while. Like, how does this not come up in your mind that this could be a problem? Apparently, they're trying to work on that to get this, like, save point in the middle of the game, but I don't know. Anyway, I've gone too far. Great game. Highly recommend Returnal. Also went back to Animal Crossing. I missed it. I love it. I'm going to try to get back into it. My partner and I started playing again, and it was just like,
awesome.
Yeah. I remember the day back when
I
used to play it on the GameCube, and there'd be times you get on, and your favorite character would just be gone, and you have a letter saying, like, I decided to move. You're like... What? Like, no. And I think I mean, it was kind of fun when that would happen. Like, when random characters just move one day, you'd, like, get out of the game. It doesn't happen anymore on the Switch. So, I don't know how I feel about it, but it's kind of cool that I know at least all the characters I loved are still on the island, which is cool. And we're very close to beating new Pokemon Snap.
Okay, that's awesome.
Great game.
Yeah.
I think is, like, if you have a partner and that partner is nostalgic about Pokemon, the same, if not more, as you, I think it's a perfect game to play. It is so much fun. We like to rag on each other when the other person does better, taking a picture, like, and it's like all about, like, we're so supportive of each other when we get good pictures. Then, like, when someone else gets a better one, we just rag on each other. And it's just so much fun. It's just so good. And the game does such a good job at making every level interesting. It changes it in small, subtle ways sometimes, or crazy big ways. You're like, whoa, that never has happened before. I've run this level like 10 times. It's really, really, really good. I highly recommend new Pokemon Snap. So, Returnal and Pokemon Snap, game of the year so far. Fantastic. We'll see what happens with Ratchet and Clank, though. So, could change everything.
We'll
could
see.
change everything.
Well,
okay, we'll see. Yeah. I think it's going to be good, though. I'm actually really excited for it.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. But as always, storygoers, we hope that you're happy and healthy and doing well. You can leave your comments, thoughts, feelings, and perspectives for the show and the stories that we cover at talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All of the E's are 3s. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram. Comment, DM us, let us know what you think. We would be happy to share those thoughts, feelings, and perspectives on the show. We would also love to send you a nice sticker as a thank you for sending those comments. We still got a bunch. They're great. We would love to have you stick them on things. Water bottles, laptops, Starbucks pulls. All equally accessible to the sticker of Tales from the Cartridge. So that's great. But today's episode is a smaller episode. It's a 5-week month in May. May's one of the better months, I think. Is it my birthday month? Yes. So is my bias? 100%. So we have more episodes to share this month, and Ryan had the great idea to have an indie game to cover for this extra week. So which I thought was a great idea. It's a game I've never played. So Ryan, would you like to share with the storygoers what that game is?
Yeah, so we are going to be covering a tiny, beautiful game called A Short Hike. Really, really incredible game. That it's been kind of on my radar for a really long time, but I finally sat down. It's like $8 on Switch. It was on sale. I had some Nintendo bucks. So it ended up being, I think, like $3 or $4. And it's just like a really wonderful game, and I'm excited to jump into it.
I want to know is it actually called Nintendo bucks? I know what you're talking about, but is that what they're called?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It should be. I love it.
Nintendo
bucks.
Yeah.
You know they'll come up with a game eventually. There'll be Nintendo dogs, and you can buy them with the $10.
Mm-hmm.
You go to your Nintendo
it's a
job
whole thing
and
that they need.
contemplate your Nintendo life. Have a Nintendo midlife crisis. Anyway.
Yeah. There's a whole marketing that they could get in on it.
Really, yeah. They probably planned this from the beginning, honestly. Yeah. But no, so I have never played A Short Hike. I've heard raving reviews about it. You know, I've heard it's a very beautiful game. very short but very good. So I'm very interested to talk more about it. But we can jump into the background stuff of it.
Yeah, let's do it. Short Hike was released on Windows on July 30th, 2019, and then it came to Switch on August 2020. And there's even, if you've played the PC version and you want to check out the Switch version, there's a whole added section to it, which is really cool.
Oh. The
developer added some stuff to it. A whole new kind of way to traverse the world, which is really fun.
Wow.
In the Switch version. So if you've played it on PC and are like and want an excuse to go back, there's another reason.
Cool.
It was created, designed, and published by Abin Robinson Yu, one guy. He was working on another project and he needed a break from that project, and he took 3 months and he made this game. And the soundtrack is really beautiful. This would just be a really good soundtrack just to listen to. It's by Mike Sparling. So it's one guy was in between games, and he decided to make this game. But Eric, do you want to jump into some inspirations?
Yeah. So the game was actually a side project, like you said, that was made with funding from the Humble Original Program. And it was finished in 3 months. That's really cool. Wow, 3 months. That's insane. That is so cool. It's a game that was obviously inspired by capturing the experience of hiking in games, which is super cool. For the games that inspired it, those games would be Breath of the Wild, Zelda, Firewatch, Minute, The Frog Detective, and Animal Crossing. I totally see the Animal Crossing stuff involved with that. That's awesome. It's a game that director Adam Robinson Yu wanted players to get lost in the world to experience it, which is great. I love that this isn't a game that's like, this is a very short game, but it doesn't take away from the experience of what that game is. Like Breath of the Wild is like a 50+ hour game, if that. You know, like you could really dig yourself into that game and you can really experience it. But I like that it didn't really matter for Adam to, you know, make this really short game, but also make it a very immersive short game, which I think it's very skillful. Yeah, it takes a lot of skill to do that. But that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, and you can really clearly see the Breath of the Wild vibe to it, and that here's your goal. Get there however you want to get there. There's multiple ways to effectively, which we'll talk about it, is hike this mountain is your only kind of real driver. There's a bunch of ways to get there. There's a bunch of characters you can interact with that can give you things to make it easier, or you can skip all that and just kind of go. And it's going to be harder, but you can just go there and do it. So that's kind of part of that Breath of the Wild inspiration. And then Animal Crossing, the writing is really Animal Crossing. They're all every character in this game is an animal of some kind. They're all different characters, animal characters, and the writing feels very Animal Crossing. And it's kind of silly and eccentric and wild. I've never played Minute or The Frog Detective, so I can't speak to those games. But I can certainly see the Firewatch, the nature hiking simulator type experience that they're going for here, which is
it
really
looks
cool.
Beautiful. Like it makes me. I think Ryan, you said that when you played this with your partner, like you went out and you wanted to go hike afterwards. Like and that's. I feel like I get that same vibe from this.
Yeah, it's a really wonderful game.
Yeah, we should jump right into our experiences. So, Ryan, what's your memories of Short Hike?
This is a game that's been on my radar since it came out. It just looks so beautiful and interesting, and I knew it was kind of this really good short experience, which is kind of perfect for my life as it is right now. Just if I can sit down in one setting and complete a game and have it be a really wonderful game, I'm really excited about that. But I didn't play it until last weekend or a couple weekends ago when I was writing the script. I was going to watch a playthrough. I was like, you know what? It's only a couple hours long. Let me just sit down with my partner and play it. And we sat down and we played this really beautiful, wonderful experience. And it was really great. Both because like me and my partner got to do it together and go through this adventure together. And then it's just a really charming, sweet, heartwarming game. But Eric, do you have any memories of A Short Hike?
I don't. I'm sad to say I don't. And I feel like because like you said, Ryan, as you get older, like being an adult takes away all your time, all your time to buy PS5s. But I'm excited to kind of learn more about this game, and I think it's going to inspire me to want to play this with my partner as well, who enjoys hiking a lot, more so than I do. So like, and I like hiking, so I think it'd be fun to kind of play this game that's also like a nature simulator. My partner and I played Firewatch. We really liked Firewatch a lot, and Animal Crossing is a game that we also love playing too. So I think this is like right up our alley. I think this is the perfect mix. So yeah.
Awesome.
Well, cool. All right.
Do we want to dive into A Short Hike?
Yeah. So let us take off on this journey up a mountain.
Yeah, we're gonna climb a mountain together.
Cool.
A blue sedan is driving along the road at night. It passes forests and mountains as it makes its way wherever it's going. The destination is unknown. The driver, hidden from view, begins to speak.
Claire, You're gonna have a great time here this summer. I think it'll be good to get away from the city and take a break from everything else going on. Are you still awake?
Maybe.
Hold on a little longer. We're almost at the ferry.
Aunt May and Claire arrive at the summer cabin in the woods. Claire, a young gray-colored bird, wakes up to a beautiful sunny day and greets Aunt May, who's sitting on a log near a cozy fire. Aunt May wears a ranger cap and is a maroon-colored bird.
Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you all day. You been busy?
Kinda. Well, not really. I've just been waiting around for a call.
Well, that's your problem. There's no reception out here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much no reception. You might be able to get some at Hawk Peak.
Oh yeah, I guess, but that's pretty far, isn't it?
Oh, it's not that far. We've all made the trek before. I figured you would have gone already.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to go, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
Well, today's a great day as any. Just take White Beach Trail and head north to the fork that follows the sign for Hawk's Peak. No problem. Hawk Peak really is wonderful. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it.
It's quite a hike, sure, but our family has been going there for generations. The hot springs at the peak create these amazing updrifts. The feeling of flying there is incredible.
But isn't it kind of dangerous?
Not really. It'll be no problem for you. So what kind of call are you waiting for?
Oh, the thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Don't worry about it, dear. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll all work out fine. I think a nice hike will help you take your mind off it.
Claire heads off on her short hike. There's a path from the cabin she's staying in. It sneaks around the side of the island. She begins to walk along the ocean. It's windy outside, and she can smell the salty breeze coming off the water. She heads down to the beach and spots something shiny in the sand. She crosses the bridge with the waterfall and walks along the beach, where she meets another bird, Jen, who's wearing a turquoise shirt. Jen runs up to Claire excitedly.
Hey, you! Find me 15 shells!
What? Why?
I want them.
Yeah, but why?
It's a secret.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Claire continues on her way down the beach shore. She spots something glittering on a rock nearby and picks it up. It's a coin. She quickly puts it away in her bird pocket. The waves are soothing and the sand beneath her feet. She finds a sign. It points to various paths and directions, one of them towards a particular stretch of beach on the shoreline, Sid's Beach. Claire spots a young frog sitting on the beach in front of a sandcastle next to a large shovel. Hey dude, what's happening?
Oh, you know, just jamming out on the beach, building sandcastles and whatnot.
Sounds like a good time.
You know it.
Can I borrow your shovel?
Sorry, bud. I need to make sandcastle construction.
Isn't it a little big for that?
Yeah, but that's just how shovels are.
You know you can get smaller ones made for sandcastles?
What? That sounds fake. But if you can find me a better suited shovel, I'd be down to trade.
Claire continues exploring, making her way towards the trail. She walks along Sid Beach and finds 14 more glittering shells. After collecting them, she returns to Jen. The cool ocean air makes even the smallest task calming and a much-needed break. I got your 15 shells!
I'll take them.
So now what?
What?
I mean, do I get anything?
No!
Jeez, not even a thank you? That's not very nice.
I do what it takes to survive. I never promised you anything. Actually, I do have something for you. A new job.
I already have a job.
Well, make this your side gig.
And what if I don't take it?
It's your loss. Good jobs are hard to find. So what will it be?
Claire begrudgingly takes the job. Jen gives Claire a shell necklace.
Deliver this to Ranger May. That is all.
Claire walks back towards the ranger cabin and her home for a time here at the park. She takes the necklace to her hand. Got a delivery. It's from Jen.
Oh, wow. That's so pretty. She's such a nice girl. Collecting all those shells must have been a lot of work.
Well, actually... Oh, never mind.
Oh, I remembered something. I found this golden feather in the cabin. Figured you could use it.
Wow, thanks. This is weird timing. Is this like a reward for delivering the necklace?
No.
Claire heads back away from the cabin, intending on starting her hike up the mountains, but runs into Jen again.
My sources say you delivered the goods.
Your sources are correct. So what about that pay?
Okay, here you go.
Jen gives Claire 10 shells.
Enjoy your shells.
So, what's your deal?
I deal in shells.
Claire, after giving Jen 15 shells, delivering the necklace to her aunt, flies down to Sid Beach to check out on the little frog. The sandcastle has multiplied. There are now 4 more castles in front of the frog.
My sandcastle is now part of Sand City. And also, I'm running in a wholly contested election for mayor. Oh, hold up. The election results are coming in. Okay, I'm tallying them up. 3rd place? What? I built this city.
Sorry for your loss.
It was a tough race, but it's okay. I managed to secure a seat in the city council.
Claire leaves the frog and continues on her way. Encouraged by the optimistic frog, she spots 2 birds, one sitting in a referee chair, the other one on a beach volleyball court. Claire goes up to the one in the chair. Hey, Julie, how's the day going?
We're going to play games all day.
Sounds fun. How do you like the big chair?
It's great.
Claire sees a stick lying on the ground beside the chair and picks it up. She notices the other bird is holding a stick as well. She goes over to him. Looks like you've got a net set up. Are you 2 going to play volleyball? Volleyball? Nah, we invented our own game. I think it's going to be the next big thing, Claire. Yes? I formally challenge you to a game of beach stickball. That means you have to play.
Yeah, you have to. It's the law.
Can't fight the law. Okay, I'll play. Claire hops to the other side of the court. The rules are simple. Keep the ball from hitting the ground by hitting it with the stick back to the opponent. The person with the most points wins. They play for a while, with Julie's watchful eye and referee calls. Claire and her opponent managed to keep the ball in the air for a total of 20 hits. It was quite the achievement for the young birds, and Julie awards Claire 40 coins, a large sum of money that Claire denies at first. The bird informs her that their family is rich, and she's earned it. It's time to go. Claire spent quite some time on the beach collecting seashells, playing beach stickball. She hasn't even seen the sign for Hawks Peak yet. It's time to begin the hiking. She waves goodbye to the young ones and heads back to the main trail. In a short moment, she sees a wooden sign for Hawks Peak and a fork in the road. She takes the right path and continues her ascent. So, Eric, that's kind of our first vibe of this game. We get a bunch of interesting characters who are just kind of hanging out and having fun.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on kind of this world so far? All these characters you interact with, what kind of vibe you're getting? What are your feelings so far?
I love games like this that like it makes you feel like all these like side characters that you aren't playing are living their just lives, and that they're not like NPCs per se. Like they feel like they're alive and that they're just living in this world with you. It's not like a world that only you have like control over. So I love the frog and his is losing the election. Like, it's so funny. It is like, I was laughing so hard recording that with you just a minute ago. It's like, it's just hard to keep it. Like, it's just so stupid, but like it's so charmingly stupid. Like, it's funny. I just love how, I love the little jab that they put into about like doing a quest you don't get anything for. Like, you're doing like, it's like a video game jab, which I think is so funny. Mm-hmm. I love this so far. I love this. I feel like Claire is a character that everyone can relate to for one reason or another. It just seems like a very kind of normal character, but in a good way. That's not I don't say that in a negative connotation. I have a feeling that, I don't know, if I were to guess, I literally have no idea about this game. So don't give me any hints, please. I don't want to know. I feel like Claire's trying to talk to some kind of partner, a romantic partner, maybe going through a struggle right now. And that's why they're waiting for a phone call and they don't want to like leave the house at first. So I think that's what is happening here. I think it's the motivation to get to Hawk Peak. But yeah, I'm curious. But Ryan, what do you think so far? When you first played this, like, what did you think of this beginning stuff?
Yeah, I mean, when I went going into this, I just knew it was kind of a fun game. But I had no idea other than that. I knew it was well received. But these first group of characters, and again, I didn't even include probably 3 or 4 other characters that you meet on this beach. And they're all really wonderful, and they're all really charming and really sweet like this. It just like sucks you right in. You have this like beautiful music playing, you're walking along this kind of beautiful pixelated world, and you're meeting all these really wonderful, charming characters. One of the things that I think kind of sets the tone that we didn't include here is when you're playing beach stickball and the first time you hit it back and forth, and the other player you're playing with never misses, but you do miss. And the first time you miss, she's like, "Oh, you won." He's like, "What do you mean? There's no losing in this game. We're just working together to get as many as possible." Like, it's just this really sweet, charming. Like, there is no, at least on this beach that we've met, there's no one who's out to get you or no one to set anything in your way. It's all really positive and wonderful. And I will say, I encourage everyone to go play this game because you don't have to just like go to the beach and then climb up. You can spend an hour or 2 hours, as long as you want, anywhere. You can go all the way around the beach, and there are some parts that we won't see in this playthrough at all because the main path is maybe 20% of this island. There is so much more to this space that you can explore and see and characters you can meet, and I really encourage everyone to go do so. But yeah, I think it's really charming. I think it sets up this kind of Claire's drive as she wants to get this phone call. So it already has this tone of like technology in this kind of hiking world. Like, in no time is it saying, "What are you doing on your phone?" It's like, "Oh yeah, if that's important to you, here's a way you can do that." You know what I mean? Which I thought was really nice. but helping her understand that. But yeah, I think that's a really good guess for a motivation. I think that's a good guess.
I like that also that May is like she's very supportive. I think it's very easy for an older generation to be like, why are you on your phone? Like, why are you, you're in nature. You should be enjoying nature. But I like that May's just like, oh, I understand. Like, well, if you want to use it, like, you can go to the top of the mountain and work and this should maybe work up there. Like, I think that's cooler than like berating a character for wanting to get an important call. And like, so kudos to them. I think this is a game that kind of exceeds expectations in weird, different ways than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
So I like it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I love the frog. He's a favorite character so far.
Yeah.
So
and
fun.
I did cut out the final interaction with the frog, which I'm not going to tell you guys because I want you to go check it out yourself. But the final interaction is my favorite interaction with the frog. It is incredible. So please go check it out. Funny. It's very good. But we can jump back in. As Claire approaches the increasingly steep landscape, she spots an orange fox wearing a maroon shirt, who stands below a large cliff. They seem to be waiting at the bottom. Claire approaches, not ready to take on the large cliff ahead.
I was planning on hiking to Hawk Peak, but the path suddenly got really steep.
Do you think it's climbable?
Well, it would be if I had gotten a golden feather. Apparently they sell them at the visitor center.
So how do golden feathers work?
Well, when you get one in your pocket, you'll feel much lighter, and that makes climbing easier.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It is indeed.
So why are you going to Hawks Peak?
I'm going to take some nature shots from the top. I wouldn't call myself a photographer, but it's just a fun hobby.
I'm going there too.
Oh yeah? I heard it's a long hike.
Is it? My aunt always says, it's just a short hike away. My aunt always says, it's just a short hike away. But she's totally an outdoors geek, so I think she underestimates it.
Well,
if we make it up top at the same time, you have to get my picture.
Sounds like a plan.
Claire leaves the fox and continues to climb up the cliff, where she finds a wooden trail sign, pointing the way towards Hawk Peak. Following the advice of the photographer, Claire makes her way to the ranger station. Claire climbs up a little hill and notices a campfire. A mouse that the rangers has sits by their cabin in front of the campfire.
Howdy, how can I help you?
I heard you sell golden feathers here?
Ah, we do. You can buy one for 40 coins.
But luck, Claire has more than 40 coins from adventure playing beach stickball, as well as from collecting on her travels. Can I purchase a golden feather?
Sure, here you go. Have fun out there.
Thus begins Claire's hunt for golden feathers. Hawks Peak seems awfully high in the sky, and she knows that more golden feathers would be helpful if she happens to stumble on any more feathers during her day. She heads towards the trail, along her way, making her way slowly up the wooden path. Walking along, she hears the snapping of twigs, crunching of leaves on the ground ahead. Claire approaches a white rabbit with a blue and purple athletic shirt. They pace back and forth anxiously at the nearby black wood trail. Hi.
Hi.
Are you okay?
Not really weird. I'm supposed to run a marathon race today, but I lost my lucky headband. I've worn it every race I've ever run. I don't know if I can run a race without it.
Where'd you lose it?
Somewhere in Blackwood Forest, I think. I think.
I could take a look for you.
You do that for me?
Sure.
It's a red headband. I can give you a reward. I can give you a pair of running shoes.
Don't you need those yourself?
I just got sponsored by the shoe company. They gave me like 10 pairs.
Whoa, congratulations.
Thanks. But let me know if you see that red headband.
Claire turns away from Hawk Peak and makes her way into Blackwood Forest in search of a lost headband. The pine trees sway as the smell of pine needles fills the air. The crunch of soil under Claire's feet and the chirping of the birds fills the damp forest. Moving along the trail, Claire spots another runner in the distance. A light green turtle wearing a red headband dashes through the pines. Claire follows and eventually catches up to the turtle. Weird question, but where'd you get that headband?
I don't know. I've had it for ages. Why?
Well, I was just talking to this rabbit. She says she lost her headband somewhere in the forest.
Oh, you mean Sue?
Maybe. I didn't get her name. She was really worried about it, though. She said it was lucky and she needs it to race.
I'm supposed to race her later today. She's so talented. I've been really looking forward to it. What if I gave you mine? I'm pretty sure it's the same kind. Maybe she wouldn't notice?
Oh, well then it wouldn't be lucky.
I don't know. See if she wants it. Let me know how it goes.
The turtle continues to run down the trail. Claire quickly makes her way back to Sue to return the headband.
Any luck finding my headband?
Well, I found this.
That's not it. Those sweat stains aren't in the right place.
Ew.
Where did you find this?
Actually, the turtle gave it to me. They said you could have it. They're looking forward to the race and they didn't want you to miss it.
What? Really? Taylor the turtle? They're like the regional champion. This headband has to be at least like twice as lucky. Possibly even quadruple lucky. Okay, I'll take it. I'm so pumped. Take these running shoes.
So you really think it's luck?
Well, I don't know. I've gotten this far and it's just me. Like, it's got to be luck.
Well, maybe a little, but you're so fast and you've trained so much. You've got this far because you're good.
Oh, well, I know. I think I've known all along, but I don't know. I get so nervous. Sometimes I wonder if this is all just a fluke. But you're right. I don't need luck. Here, you can have the headband back. I'm going to do this all on my own.
Claire makes her way back towards Hawks Peak Trailhead, but not before putting on her new running shoes and headband for the tough climb ahead. As Claire climbs higher, the dense pine trees start to fade and the forest opens up. The light from the midday sun shines down through the golden leaves of the birch trees. Following the trail sign, Claire makes her way towards Hawk Peak. As she climbs, she notices a strange sight. A large lake nestled in the side of a mountain. Meteor Lake. The warm sun makes the cool water look enticing, and Claire heads over to cool off in the lake. She dives into the crystal waters of the lake, a refreshing break in her tough climb. As she steps out of the water to the beach, she notices another green frog, this one lounging on the towel, in a shirt and sunglasses. I'm so stoked to eat breakfast. But it's already the afternoon. Tomorrow's breakfast. It's the best meal of the day. Sometimes, when I'm about to go to bed, I get so excited by the thought of it, I have trouble sleeping. So, what makes breakfast so great? Dang, have you ever heard of pancakes before? Yeah. Bacon? Waffles? Eggs? French toast? A fruit bowl? Yes, to all. So you know what I'm talking about. After a refreshing dip in the water and the talk of delicious breakfast foods, Claire heads back to Hawks Peak Trail. She makes her way upwards. The sound of a rushing brook that runs along the path is making this increasingly difficult incline much more peaceful. As Claire gets higher and higher, the temperature starts to drop and the air begins to chill. A large sheer cliff now stands before Claire, the last big climb before the summit. Standing next to the cliff face is a blue bird wearing a dark green coat. He leans casually against the cliff wall, as if waiting for someone to come by. As Claire approaches, he calls out,
Psst. Hey, kid. You want to buy some gold feathers?
Yeah, okay.
Cool. It'll be 8 coins per feather.
But that's twice as much as the visitor center.
Go buy feathers from them then.
But they're all sold out.
Guess you're out of luck. So you want to buy some feathers or what?
Claire grabs out some more of the money she won playing stickball on the beach and buys more feathers from the bird. She buys all he has to help her make her way up the steep cliff. Eric, we're coming to the final climb. What are your thoughts so far? What do you think of all the characters we've met? And Claire's gone through a pretty big hike so far. What are your thoughts on kind of how she's feeling or what the purpose of this whole adventure is? As we're getting to the end, you made that prediction. Does that still hold up? We haven't gotten any other information, but what are your thoughts?
I still think that's my guess. I don't have like you said, I have nothing else to go on, so that's kind of what I'm thinking here. But I almost feel like this is like a journey of self-discovery that Claire isn't understanding that she's going through, or that they're going through. So I find it interesting, and again, I love the characters of these. Every character has their own life that's going on. It doesn't have anything to do with Claire. It's just they happen to meet, and then Claire has this seemingly positive impact on their lives, and they just go off and continue their lives, and they do their thing. So it's cool. I love that. I feel like Claire might be learning more about herself as she continues down this journey, continues up this journey. Because she's going up. Anyway. But no, I think it's cool. I like it. It sounds like it's just it's just a sweet little game. It seems like there's just a world that you're thrown into. It's not about Claire per se, and it's just about everybody. And Claire's just a part of it. And I like that. It's not just about Claire. It's not Claire's the only important person that we're focusing on. Everybody's important in different ways. I think that's really cool. So I don't know if that's the intention or not, but that's what I'm getting from it. But I don't know. What do you think, Ryan, so far?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think because it's really only one person, he did such a great job kind of designing this world. And again, at this point I've left out probably 15 characters that we haven't interacted with, because there's a whole other side of this island that we haven't met. There's a person who they wanted to enter that race that Sue's going to run in, but they missed the deadline, so now they're doing parkour around the island, and you can parkour race them. And there's just all these really charming, wonderful characters all throughout. And I think, like you said, they're all kind of going through their own experiences. And Claire, every time she interacts with them, in most cases, she has this really positive, wonderful experience. And this thing that she was kind of dreading, that she was like, I don't want to go do this hike, or I just want to stay in bed while I wait for this phone call. Now it seems to be something that has ended up being really positive, and she's had to challenge herself to do, and met all these people who she's helped or has gotten some kind of experience from or engaged with along the way that it's been positive. And every character, like you said, is kind of going through their own journey, and they're all on this mountain, this pike, for a different reason. But all of those reasons kind of intermingle, or she just kind of sees them doing their own thing and keeps going, which again makes the world feel more alive. But yeah, I totally agree with what you said. Yeah.
That's cool. I love it. I think it's fun. It's cute. It's just very sweet and very just. It's just fun to kind of jump into and to be a part of. And there's no threats, which is nice. It's nice that there's a video game that's like, there's many that are like it, but it's just nice when you play, after you go and play games that are just like, there's always a threat of danger. There's always like this like thing you have to overcome. And it's just nice that this is a game where it's just like, you're just going for a hike, and there is a goal, but it's not like imperative. You get to just take your time with it, and it's not detrimental so far to make this climb. So it's cool. It's cute. I love these characters. They're just so much fun. They're so much fun to do.
Yeah. And the feather guy who we just met, who you so wonderfully voiced, he is like the first protagonist or antagonist type character we've met who like is in the way of the character. That being said, if you explore, you don't need to buy his feathers, but if you want to, you can. And then after you've bought all his feathers, he's like, oh man, I was hoping I'd raise enough money to go for my tuition next year. I don't think I'm going to make it. And then you can offer to give him more money. In exchange, he gives you an item that another character asked for early on, but again, was a character I didn't get to include, although he's a really wonderful character who is like terrified that he lost his watch and someone's going to sell it on the internet, and he hates the internet. It's really charming and sweet. But again, just didn't fit in. So I really encourage folks to go meet these characters. But yeah, so like even this like antagonist who is like out to kind of be in your way is doing it for what is a pretty good reason, and is just trying to like do what they can to get by. They have their own. They're not just there for Claire. They're actually. He explicitly says, "I'm here to, get tourists out of their money. What are you doing here? You should know better." But he's just again. It's just a bunch of really interesting characters who are really wonderful.
I love that. I love that. That's such a good take, even on our reality and today. Like in real life, like one person's actions can seem totally wrong to one person, but maybe they are actually justified. Like today, I had some dude, I was driving to the botanical gardens, right? And there's a giant truck behind me, and we were all stuck behind this light, right? And we're slowly creeping up, and he goes around behind me and then cuts in front of me. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And then the light turns red, and he's stuck in front of me. And I'm like, was it really worth cutting in front of me? We're both stuck here. And I thought, I was kind of complaining about it. I was like, unless he has someone pregnant giving birth in that truck, then I'm angry about this, But then I was like, oh wait, what if it actually was like an emergency? He's trying to get somewhere and he's desperate to. I was like, man, now I feel bad. Like maybe more than likely, I would say he's probably just being a jerk. But what if he isn't, and I just don't understand?
Yeah.
What if they're not, and I just don't understand? So that's the kind of percent, and that's the thing I gotta get better at myself, is being more open-minded to what's happening. Not get it walked all over. I'm coming in front of all the lines they were standing, but at the same time, also being mindful that maybe they're just going through a hard day, and so. But I still hate it. So it doesn't matter. What is to be open-minded?
All right, let's jump into the end of our short hike.
Okay. Wow. Oh man, the end. That's crazy. All right. Yeah. I feel a little emotional already.
The mountains are covered in ice and snow. It's cold, and the freezing winds aren't helping. Whenever she climbs and flies, her golden feathers freeze up. Luckily, she spots a stream wafting up from a pool of water nearby. Could this be the hot spring her aunt was telling her about? She stepped in. The water instantly warmed her up, unfreezing her feathers and soothing her aching body. There was still quite a bit of path left. She climbed out and continued on. Claire glides, climbs, and jumps expertly from hot spring to hot spring while climbing the trail to Hawk's Peak. She has to be careful. Too much vigorous climbing or flying without a hot spring to warm her up could be dangerous. Claire climbs up the frigid cliff and is greeted by a familiar photographer standing on the trail to the peak. A broken bridge leaves a gap in the trail.
Hey, it's you again. We're almost at the top, but it looks like the bridge here collapsed. There might be another way up, but I could just collect more golden feathers.
Claire had luckily gathered enough golden feathers and able to fly across the gap. Finally, she spots the final climb to the top. Claire dips into the final hot spring to refresh and defrost her golden feathers before jumping out and climbing to the top of Hawk's Peak. Phew, I did it. She's so high up, and it's gently snowing around her. The sky is vibrant shades of purple and blue as the northern lights twinkle all around her. There's a stillness and silence. Claire sits down to enjoy this moment away from any other living being, and ponders her hike up to this point. She thinks about all the people she helped and met today, the interesting places she explored, the wonders she collected. She admires the northern lights all around her, and the moon glimmering in the distance. Her phone rings in her pocket. She just remembered. There's some self-service up here. The whole reason why she needed to climb up here in the first place. Claire answers the phone. Hello?
Hi, Claire.
Mom, I'm so glad to hear from you. I've been waiting all day to hear from you. I've been worried.
Oh, honey, I told you I'd be fine.
Yeah, but you always say that.
And I always am. Anyway, how have you been?
Well, I'm at the top of Hawks Peak right now.
Oh, wow. I love it up there. May and I used to go up every summer together. It's about time you made it up.
Yeah, I know.
You're so big now. My little girl's leaving the nest. You won't have any need for little old mom.
But I do need you. I'll never not need you. When I heard about the surgery, how come you never told me this was a thing?
I didn't want you to worry. I know you can get worked up about things.
I could have been there for you. You're all alone there now.
Really, it's nothing. Everything was fine.
I'm just glad you're okay. I love you, Mom.
I love you too.
A rumble from the ground begins to grow stronger and stronger. Wait, something's happening.
Was that the famous Hawks Peak updrift?
It looks like it. Claire stares down at the warm pool a short distance away. A strong, steady draft is blowing into the sky, starting in the pool.
You should catch a ride on it now before it fizzles out.
I want to, but I'm kind of nervous.
Claire, you can do it. I'll come visit you soon, okay? Also, don't forget to say hi to Aunt May for me. She's probably waiting for you to get back at the cottage. Bye. Love you.
Claire hangs up the phone and looks at the updraft nervously. She takes a deep breath and jumps. The draft immediately pushes her high up into the sky, even higher than the peak, and Claire sails down to the island. The northern lights shining, she slowly circles the island as she drifts slowly down. The snowy rocks begin to reveal some pine trees, the snow melts, and more deciduous trees begin to appear in vibrant colors of green and some oranges. She sees Meteor Lake, and some islands come into view. The beach line comes into focus as well. She lands home at Aunt May.
Hey! Did you make it to Hawks Peak?
Yeah, it was really nice. I can see why you like it so much. Though it wasn't exactly a short hike. I'm really tired.
Well, maybe it was a bit of an understatement.
Only a bit.
You hungry? I'm gonna break out the hot dogs soon.
I'm kind of tired out. I'm gonna take a nap or something. Oh, I almost forgot. Mom says hi, and everything was okay.
Oh, that's good to hear. Your mom's a tough bird. I knew she'd be all right.
I'm really glad I came. It's been nice.
I'm glad you're here. You can visit anytime.
Claire heads into the cabin for a nice nap. The end.
Aww.
Eric, that's it. That's
Yeah.
the whole. That's a short psych. Like I said, I left out a whole bunch of. We left out a whole bunch of characters. There's a bunch more interactions. You can re-interact with a bunch of people once you have made this hike and go see more people on the island. But what are your thoughts on the overall experience? Claire, kind of this again. You miscalled who it was, but you were still quite close. It was kind of an emotional experience that she was struggling with. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I'm actually happy that I'm wrong. I feel like because of I feel like the era that we grew up in has kind of shifted me to think that every single important call has to do with some kind of romantic relationship. And maybe I'm off with that. Maybe it's even earlier in another generation. I just feel like that was every single story in like the 90s and early 2000s. That was always that romantic relationship. That important call. It never had to do with your parents. Like, you know what I mean? So I love that this is almost like a different take for me. Like this is a equally, if not, more so for other people, important relationship to focus on. And I like that this is what the reason was. Claire's mother had a surgery and Claire didn't know. So Claire feels kind of hurt, and that's kind of why they're in this slump. Claire obviously needs their mom. Their mom is very important to them. So I think it's really cool that was the main reason why. It wasn't some stupid boyfriend or not. I'm sorry. It wasn't some stupid, partner drama or anything like that. It was more along the lines of, as we all, at the end of the day, we all love whatever mother figure we have, or like parental figure, honestly, we have. I think is a better way to go about it. So, and that relationship is always so important to us. And I like that that's the reason why for this. So I approve. I think it's fantastic. I love the story. I love it does blend in so many games. And I think that's what's so cool about it. It's all done so well. It is like the perfect combination of all those games. Breath of the Wild, the climbing, Animal Crossing with the look of it, Firewatch with the nature. Minute, I think the character designs are kind of the same if I think of what Minute is. And I never heard of the Frog Detective. So I don't know how that plays into it. But, I'm sure it does a good job. It does so well with all the other games that we've mentioned that I have played. I feel like it had to do Raw Detective well, probably too. So I mean, I love it. The characters are fun. The story's good. It's simple, but it's beautiful. 10 out of 10, I want to play it. So.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful game and a really charming experience. And I hope you still can go enjoy it with your partner, even though you've already kind of, you know what the end is. That being said, there is so much more to explore on this island. One of the things that I was, I was writing the script and I was playing this game, and I actually heard a podcast, not important, but effectively it talks about the concept of a low narrative story, a story where there is a story, but it's not what's important. The story is the story you tell yourself as you're playing it, or the experience that the route that you take is going to be different than other people take, and there's an empowerment and interest to that. And I think this is a really great example of that, of this kind of low narrative experience that is still just as satisfying, just as charming as kind of a game that tells you exactly what your reasons are and tells you where to go and gives you all those experiences. I think this is another really great way to tell a story that gives you more freedom. I think really hearkening to that Breath of the Wild experience.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I think I like that, because it's a game where you can make it as long as you need to. The story can be as dynamic as you want in terms of how many characters you meet and how many you help along the way. Or you can just focus on yourself and you can make this a short experience that goes right to the top. And I think it's really cool. I love that. It's kind of like the player impact on the story, which I think is really fun. Yeah. And I think regardless if you meet other characters or not, it's still a beautiful story in some way, shape, or form. You know, like, you don't have to interact with all these people to better yourself or to, you know, become this like better person. Because kind of at the end of the day, Claire seems like she's the same person that she would, you know, she didn't really need much convincing to help all these characters. So I don't know if she necessarily sees herself as a better person now through this journey, but, you know, she's always kind of been that good person that would help anybody kind of mentality. So that's cool. So it's not like this, you know, crazy story that, you know, this person has this radical change and, you know, they're a whole different person since the, you know, the start of the story. I like that this is very concise, short, and sweet. And I think that's a good formula for a story like this. So,
yeah, and I think I think one of the things that I enjoyed so much about this is you've been to Arcadia, and right? Did you guys end up going?
No, not yet.
I was going to say, well, I don't know if you've had this experience, Eric, of a really steep, difficult hike, and then when you get to the top and you're at the top of this really big, beautiful kind of landscape, it is such an amazing experience that is so well captured in this story that it just, I think if you've had that experience, it makes it even more meaningful. So if you're somebody who hikes or likes to hike and has gone on some tough hikes, but you end up at these really beautiful summits, it kind of makes it even more meaningful.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I definitely had some good hikes. But I've never had one that's like taken, you know, that's been super challenging. So I feel like the reward there is probably significant. And we've gone hiking several times together, even here in Maine.
Yeah.
Beautiful place to hike, by the way. You should totally come. Tourists are always welcome, whether we want them to or not, right? But I think there's always some like amazing views of just like, wow, I'm so glad I did this. Like, this is just amazing. That, you know, beautiful lookouts and just like, you know, it's so cool. So I think that's a great way to keep you connect with nature on days that maybe you don't really want to go out and connect with nature. I think video games do a great job at kind of immersing you. Like that Firewatch experience. Like, what a great way to kind of feel like you're immersed in nature. Like, what if it's a really crummy day out, or it's a time in winter where you can't really go hiking anywhere, you know, unless you really want to get the snow boots out and get the the tennis shoes. You know, never mind. But like, it's just really cool that video games allow you to have that kind of experience. Maybe when you don't even necessarily want to actually live it. I think it's kind of cool, you know, but then you do have that motivation, like, yeah, actually, I really do want to go on, an actual hike. You go out and you experience it, like, man, this is amazing. Like, it's just cool how you can have similar experiences in very different ways, and that's amazing. Yeah.
But yeah, the short hike is a great game, and again, we only covered such a small piece of it that everyone should go get it. It's $8 on the Switch, which is a great way to experience it. And there's just so much to see. But yeah, that's a short hike, everybody.
Woo! Ryan did a great job on the script. Fantastic. That was good. That was really good. Yeah.
Thanks for your incredible voices. Yeah.
The storygoers, hopefully you liked a story of a short hike. Send us your thoughts, feelings, and or perspectives to talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All of the E's are 3s. You can also comment, DM us on our posts. Let us know what you think, and we'll happily share those on the podcast. You can also earn a super, super cool sticker. What? Is it sticky? Yes. Is it cool? Yes. What more do you want in anything for a comment? But yeah, no, that's our story for today. We will be recording another episode next week, and we'll let you know what that is soon. It's another guest episode. Finally, we're doing it again. Yeah.
Oh man,
it's exciting. Should we announce it now? Do you want to announce it now?
We can. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Go for it. Go for it, Eric.
Oh no, I insist. This is thanks to you.
Okay, so our next episode is maybe going to be a big one. Is going to be Baldur's Gate, the DLC between Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Jesse is coming back.
Woo!
He's been working on a script for a couple months now. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait. So he will be back in the next episode. Baldur's Gate Siege of Dragonspear is the name of the episode, is the name of the DLC. So it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see what Jesse does with it. But yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Oh man, I was nervous how my voice is in this episode. I'm gonna be extremely anxious in the next episode.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, like prepare myself. I gotta be in the zone. Like, I am a voice actor. Gabe Newell has reached out to me, and I'm gonna be in Portal 3. That kind of mentality, that's what I gotta do.
Get it in there. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Gabe, we still haven't heard from you, dude. What's taking you so long? Come on, dude. Come on, Gabe. Like any day now. We will. I would do it for free. Would you do it for free, Ryan? Not to put it out there,
sure.
But yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd do it for free. No money at all.
No money. I think we can say this now at the end of this episode. You'll probably never listen to this full episode, I would say. He's a very busy man. Not because it's not good enough. It's definitely good enough. He should.
Yeah.
That's on him.
He's very busy.
He's very busy. So even if he does that for us money, we can be like, hey, once we, sign the contract, so it's good. Then he's like, Gabe, you would have done it for free, dude. We even mentioned it in our podcast. But he won't. Yeah. He's cool. He's made up money at this point. Anyway.
Probably.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, Storygoers, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye!
I do what it takes to survive.